Alright guys, about a month ago I did a whip video on a beautiful ASA padlock that had a Sergeant XC core in it with a little hidden trip lever. It was from POLYCLEF. He whipped me, so I sent him a pack lock, and inside of that box was this little guy. So I kind of ignored him, didn't really look, I didn't realize the history behind this guy. So he sent me an email, and I have to read it to you off camera here. It says, this is one of Russwin's first paracentric keyways from the 1800s. It was taken out of mothballs in the 60s and 70s and relabeled safe by Emhart Corporation. Keep that in mind. I'm starting to understand why this might be a challenge lock. And they sold overstock Corbin and Russwin through secondary companies. It's been discontinued again, but there's still enough of them around for ILCO to make keys. And I do have the key right here. Probably ILCO beneath all that tape. Says Safe also made the enclosure locks on gamewell, police, and fire pull stations, as well as traffic control boxes. They're still being sold and made by a company called CCL. He says he switched the shell of this to a Corbin label, and I assume it's to fit that old core there, one of the very first paracentric. So let's see if we can get at it. I don't see any weirdness on here. But if this truly does contain Emhart pins, then I guess it might be another whip video. I'm not going to peek at the key, but Emhart is a combination of segmented keys and the Medico angled cuts on the key pin. So I don't know how many in here, but if there's even one Emhart, I don't have a very good chance. But anyway, let's try it. Let me clamp it up, find a tensioner, and see if we can't jump right into it, see what we got here. All right, the pick I'm going to use, I'm going to pull this thing out. I'm going to take a chance on it, only because I've already run the pick through to make sure there are no super springs. So I'm going to put my rat yoke medium hook at risk. Hopefully we can get in there. 2, 3, 4, 5. I am counting 6. None of them are super springs though, so that's a good deal. I'm going to try this multi-pick SPS 13, and it's the 0.8 millimeter. And I've discovered I've really got to push it to get it to wedge in there, but I can actually let go with my thumb and it'll hang there by itself, which is about as perfect as you're going to get. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. All the way to the rear, light tension, and let's see what POLYCLEF's come up with. I got a binder on 3. Oh. Got a fault set, that's good. That was counter rotation on pin 1, very slight click. Four is set. All right, now it's totally, oh, wait a minute, there he is. That was 6. It's the slightest of counter rotations and a very slight click. Okay, that was 4. I thought he was set, but I got a little click out of him. That is 5. I think that's counter rotation. Let me check. Oh, it's so slight, it just might be the pick rubbing against the side of the warding. But that's about the only feedback I've gotten. Very slight counter rotation. And I got a very slight click out of it. The fact that I'm getting feedback at this point tells me that I haven't hit an Emhart pin. That is very slight counter rotation from pin 2. Uh-oh, lost the fault. Oh, got it back. So I lost the fault set there for a second, but okay, I just barely touched 3. I got a very slight click. Oh, that was 3 again. I did not lose the fault set though. I believe that is, again, counter rotation, very slight. I'm barely holding that tension wrench in there. And there we go. No Emhart pins in here. Thank goodness. All right, let me zoom out. About as good as it gets. It is open. All right, let's see what POLYCLEF put in here. We do have a key, so let me go ahead and lock it up and unmummy the key. Oh. Did I mention POLYCLEF as a locksmith? Beautiful. And perfect. No dragging whatsoever. It's just absolutely perfect. All right, let's pull the tailpiece off. And get a pinning board in here. Come off. Man, that thing is wedged on there. Press fit. Oh man, give me a double break. I think that's lined up. All right, no strange stuff here. Let's take a look here. POLYCLEF has sent me emails before where he says, I was going to say, putting anything on a key pin, is kind of a waste of time, but he made me a liar right there. And there's another one. Spool key pins. That's a standard one. Come on. Standard. And look at that. That is not a key pin. That's a spool driver pin that he put in to act as a key pin on position number 6. No weirdness inside of the core. Let's see what we got here. All right, we have a spool sitting on top of a master wafer. And I don't know why he would do that. It gives me another shear line to deal with, to hit. Very light spring. Number 2. Another commercial spool, just like the key pin in position number 6. They are brothers, identical. Different spring. Number 3. Another commercial spool. Again, another brother. Triplets now. And the spring on this one was sticking out a little bit. I could grab him. Same as the 1 and 2. Slip it around to the rear. Go for number 6. Look at that baby spool. Again, we've got another baby spool sitting on top of a master wafer. It's probably to make it long enough to give a little bit of spring tension, as opposed to using a longer spring. Again, we have an identical, he's set up just like number 1. Same weak spring and everything. Number 5. We have a spool. And another one of these little weak springs, but he was quite a long pin. Whoop. And the last one, number 4. Okay, again, we had one of these tiny little spools sitting on top of another standard driver pin. Another one of these little weak springs. And that is it. Nothing modified in the core. No threading, undercutting, any other kind of magic in there. No floating chamber sleeve. No secret hidden pin in the side here. No nothing. That's all we had was 6 fairly standard commercial pins. And that is what it looked like right there. For once, I didn't mess up a gutting. All right, guys. Appreciate your time. Stay safe. Stay legal. POLYCLEF. Thank you for this antique. It's not an ILCO. It's a Taylor. Thanks for the lock. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Walk live where the sun beams.